was nothing. Sometimes I paint my identity in black and white, just to be simple, trying to avoid being extravagant, forcing myself to be minimal. But the honest truth is, sometimes I don't have color. I find my color palette running so dry so quickly, because most times I'm trying to paint the whole picture at one go. The pressure of being a complete picture gets overwhelming at times. I try to escape the canvas, or refuse the canvas that the world insists I follow at times. Who am I? Where do I belong? These questions. Sometimes I feel like I've adequately announced and answered them. Like, I swear down, there are days when I think I know who I am. Like, man, I'm good. I swear down. And there are days when I struggle, where it gets so overwhelming that I find myself folding to situations rather than being sticking to my true identity. The adhesive that glues me to my self-proclaimed self gets to dissolve far too quickly whenever I'm exposed to dire situations in life. I start painting again. Anything, everything, and nothing. I try to convince myself, man, then you're not going through an identity crisis. But the joke is on me. See, in fact, I'm going through a calamity. I'm going through a World War III with myself, currently gathering troops to fend off this war. I find myself telling myself that, stop listening to the noises around. Like, remember, when you're okay, when you're happy, people love you. But then I realize all I'm doing is I'm just delaying the inevitable. And without me definitively answering the question, who am I? I'm just basically an accident waiting to happen.
Just an accident waiting to happen. I guess I'm a crash test dummy set to hit the wall, while society voyeuristically watches like vultures, picking off my worst moments. I mean, I understand there's a mystique to serial killer shows that keeps me glued to the TV for hours on end, until the number of bodies is nothing but a fact for TV trivia. Well, guess what? Maybe these dark stories hold a mirror unto me, and I cannot help but gaze. I cannot help but let the metaphors and metaphors of the phrases freeze the frames of my own experiences. Oh wait, who am I kidding? I mean, for a soul like mine, tortured by the moments mired in fiction, cause all I seem to do with my days these days is to mirror some hero or some villain, and really I try to vindicate myself from the villainy I perpetuate by my own decision, putting myself in a prison of perfection, without the understanding that, man, all you can do is try. Instinct. I've relied on you to guide me, even when I blacked out with my medieval weapons at the backyard of our house when I was 9. Too mommy to snap the spear shaft because it was getting too much. I was retreating too much into my own mind. But what can I do when my DNA signed an NDA with reality to never reveal the trauma that I seem to have inherited? I see it now. Say with me. I see it now. I see the very end, and this is the spoiler alert. The main character doesn't make it out alive. I stand before you and I know I'm almost anemic from pulling poems and stories from these very veins until a heartbreak text is nothing but an annoying modification, a modification of my own living conditions. But man, what can I do? I'm just leaving. Maybe I was there, maybe I was never there. Maybe I froze these pictures and took them too much from fiction. Just maybe, I rely too much on the instinct. But what comes first? The bird or the egg? Easy to blame it on my instinct when the movies taught me that if you get in the darkest time to reach out for that kiss. kissing opportunities away because my instinct told me that I could not be treated like that. But guess what? This main character doesn't make it to the end. But I know one thing. I wrote these stories, I wrote these poems, but I never realized one thing. The poems and stories wrote me, and I was just a proxy, putting paper to ink. And when it touches, it refuses to stay on the paper. And it comes out, wafts through, and maybe, just maybe, I can understand what makes me. Maybe I'm here, maybe I never was. And that's all it is.
Members of the jury, I thought I'd learned it all. How to speak, when to speak, what to say to whom I'd speak. I'd learned that it isn't simply how you speak, it's how sweet your speech is, how beautifully the words blend into one another, how these words we speak are color, that the best of us are the ones that paint a seamless gradient. Every new semester experience, our class teacher would sit us and remind us of our past pleasures and pains and tell us to pay our path today with yesterday's roadmap. And when I thought I was finally ready to take the finals, the syllabus would change. The rules that were set by this school would become old school, ancient history. It was only a moment to learn all these new rules and standards, and it's never enough. What you could say before now, you can't say. If you do say, you'll be cancelled. The council court is now in session. The council now sits at their high horse. The critics have made a verdict. Today, yesterday's right is wrong. Members of the jury, I stand before you to plead my case. You see, I'm here before you on death row. I'm about to be cancelled, but I'm not here because of negligence. I've tried to do all that you've said, but it's not possible. It's not humanly possible. The definition of right is almost as fickle as the minds of the men that set them. I've tried to not let my life be defined by your views, but who am I lying to? I'm a social animal, and this beast is burdened with the primitive desire to be accepted. I'm all that you've made me to be. I'm a microcosm of all that society is expecting. I am your canvas for all that you hate about yourself. I am your diary. My pages are packed with projections of your selfish ambitions. My life is a template for you to live vicariously, to lose all your inhibitions. I'm all that you've made me to be. I am only ugly because I mirror society. Members of the jury, I stopped asking myself who I wanted to be a long time ago, and now I ask, who do you want me to be? And if you do not have a straight answer, then shut up. Your incessant flittering feelings are frightening. You don't even know what you expect of me, yet somehow you expect of me. You expect me to fully mirror your fantasies and fantasies. Such foolishness. What do you want from me? Exactly. There are no answers. I'm done speaking with you. I'm done listening to you. This relationship is over. I am not a template for you to express. This is not a haven for all that you've tried to suppress. This body is not your sanctuary.
This woman is not your sanctuary, not a house for your confessions and not a ground for your Sunday visits. This woman is not your mirror, not a reflection of your failures and not the eyes to your uncertainties. This woman is not your tomorrow, not to be dragged into the demise of your dreams, nor the brokenness of your yesterdays. This woman is not your covering. Not the fluffy adornment on your winter days to be forgotten at the break of spring. No, this woman is not your therapist. Not the recipient of your father's shortcomings. This woman is not your mother. Not to be silent on days when a home houses daughters in the arms of your father. Not to mend your father's broken ego. No, this woman is not your mother. Not to ease herself in the swing of your father's punches as she prays to a God for her husband's repentance, blaming herself for letting the devil into her home. No, this woman is not your mother. And not to bad dreams beneath those wrinkles in the hope of sustaining her marriage, a marriage already drowned by the silence of infidelity. No, this woman is not your mother. This woman is water, mapping a home for the yesterdays she did not have in her tomorrow. On the shores of today, this woman is peace. Swirling in the gift of breath, this woman is courage. Weaving a